Hey Successful, I hope you're doing amazing today. My name is Daniela and I'm on this channel to share my journey while empowering yours. Today, we are going to be talking about the paycheck routine that I use to get out of $50,000 of debt and counting. So this video is going to be a very straightforward step-by-step to hopefully help you if you are in this journey currently, what to do on payday. Okay, this is very important because a lot of times you think you're not making enough money, but it's actually just because you're spending too much money or you don't have a track or you're not in control of how your money is being spent and where it's going. So let's get straight into it. The first step is to have a plan before you get paid. I know the feeling of getting paid and just finding out that there's some new expense you could possibly use the money for, but we're not going to do that. We're too grown and we are too committed to our goals to do that. So before you even get paid, you are going to have assignment for the money that you're about to receive. So when you get paid, it's just game time. Okay, that is literally the first step, is to prepare before you get paid. So your payday routine should just be executing the plan that you've already created for yourself. This can be done through budgeting or literally just 1, 2, 3, I'm going to do this. And honestly, I love budgets, I really do. But sometimes you just need a 1, 2, 3 list of this is what I'm going to do. I was focused more on how much I can spend towards the debt that I was trying to pay off. So you want to, whether it's create a budget or have a 1, 2, 3 list of how you're going to spend that money, you need actually to have this game plan before you get paid. If you guys want me to do a budgeting video, I would love to. I actually have a free budget that I give out to people when I go and speak to schools. So I would love to do a video on that and how I created that budget for myself. That has really helped me. And also what I mean by this 1, 2, 3, 4 list, that has also really blessed me because it has just simplified my life and how I think about finances. Because when you think about your priorities, there's really not that much, right? Like if you just have a 1, 2, 3 list, it kind of just picks you up and gets you going. But for those of you who do like more down details, it is important. Budgets are still very important to see where everything is going, so you can see where you can cut costs or where you're being ridiculous or things like that. So either way, I think both things are important. But once you already have a budget, it's good to have a list of things that you're gonna do once you get paid. So number 2 is actually on payday. What do you do? The first thing I do is I pay my tithing, okay? I think it's very important to bless God with what He has blessed me. And I'm a firm believer that the money that I have is not money that I actually own, but it is something that God has blessed me with and has entrusted me with to manage. So it is important for me to bless God with 10% of my money in order to show Him and just serve Him that, hey, I'm for you. I know that this money you've given me is none of my doing, and it's just because of the grace in my life. So I do that to help more people get to know Jesus. And so you might be wondering, what is a tithe? If you don't know what a tithe is, basically it's 10% of your income going towards the work of God. So most people pay their tithing to their churches. You know what? Maybe I'll do a video on that. That sounds like a really good idea. So your third step now for your paycheck routine is to split your money into 2. Remember, this paycheck routine is specific for those who are trying to pay off debt, okay? I like to simplify this step for those trying to pay off debt because that really helped me, was to say how much money can I use towards my debt this paycheck or this month or whatever, right? So I would literally split my money into 2. The first group of money would be what you absolutely need in order to survive. So your bills, paying whatever monthly payments that you have, and whatever spending money you've allotted for yourself. That's what you have to have. If you have a mortgage, if you have rent, like those are things that you have to have. And then of course you definitely want to have a little buffer of miscellaneous, things like that, and that will come with your budget. Okay, and again, I will do a budgeting video on how you can do that. And then the second half of it is money that is going towards your debt. And I will say, I think it's very important and it's very helpful to just be more intense at this time. If you are really trying to pay off debt, go for it. Like say, okay, I'm not gonna have a $200 allowance for fun. Maybe I'll have a $100 allowance for fun. And that really helped me because when I saw the momentum and paying off things faster, I just literally went on more no spend months and more restrictions. But if that's not you, that's cool. But if you really want to pay off this debt, you are going to have to be consistent. You're going to have to be more intense because depending on how much money you make, it might take a little longer or it might not if you just focus, right? So I break that money into two. This is how much I need in order to pay bills, and the rest of this is going to go towards paying off my debt. Okay, and I do want to say at this step too, obviously depending on how your payday routine works, you can get paid every other week, or you can get paid every month. But either way, you want to have a buffer of at least a month for any bills. And that might take some time to save, but I would say it's very important, especially if you're going to be on an intense payoff journey. And what's the next step? You guessed it. You're going to actually use the money to pay the debt, okay? That day that you get paid, you're going to put whatever you need to put in your checking account that needs to be spent for bills and whatever you set in your budget. And the rest of that, you're going to send it away to whatever creditor that you owe money to. Because if you don't do that, you're going to feel like you have extra money and you might end up using it. Whether if it's a friend that calls you or a family member that calls you, or a new idea pops up in your head and it's the perfect idea because you have this money in front of you. So what you want to do on that day is to pay it. And I've definitely been in those situations in my debt payoff journey where I was so glad that I paid the money that I promised myself I would towards my debt, because a couple of days later, surely enough, something came up that sounded like the best opportunity. But guess what? I did not have the money in my bank account. So guess what? I didn't do it. And now looking back, I'm glad I didn't do it, because guess what? I'm more happy that I don't have debt than whatever idea that I had to do, right? So you just have to decide what is priority to you. You need to be able to have integrity with yourself, respect yourself, and love yourself enough to say enough is enough. I'm going to pay this debt. So that's why on payday, it is game time. Every time I get paid, it is game time. This is going here, and the rest of it, I don't want no money in my account where I got paid, because I wanted every single dollar to have a job, and I give them that job that day. So there's no negotiations, no questions asked, nothing like that. Now, I want to say this too, something that God has told me to do starting like intentionally, for like maybe the last year or so, is to give intentionally. Now I'm not talking about tithing, I'm talking about giving to the poor. Right? And this is something I have in my budget as well. So that's part of the budgeted money that was part of the group one. But even if it's $1, you guys, $5, $20, like whatever you can say, maybe part of your fund money that you take out for giving to the poor, I promise you, this will bless you in so many ways. I definitely will talk about that in the tithing video as well. But giving to the poor is so important. And the Bible literally says that God takes care of those who give to the poor. Like, there's so much by giving to the poor. But more than that, more than the spiritual principle of it returning so much back to you, it's also just so fulfilling to be able to make someone's day, so fulfilling to be able to, you know, provide somebody a meal for the day, or just to see them smile when they're struggling. Like, that will never leave you. The amount of testimonies that you'll hear from people, I mean, it's really amazing to be a blessing to other people, and no amount is small enough. I promise you guys, no amount is small enough. There are people that are looking for $5 to get a drink or $5 to get a meal. So even if you have $2 for that month or that pay period, use it to bless someone. So I really want all of y'all that's watching this video to take it seriously. So that's gonna be part of your budget, your budgeted amount in the group one. But it's not gonna be part of your I'm paying off debt stuff, okay? So I'm definitely gonna make a budgeting video where I'm gonna show you guys how you can break all that down. But I just want to put it in there that different than tithing, you want to give your money to the poor, because it's so important. It will bless you in so many ways, and it's just gonna put a smile on your face, and yeah, it's amazing. All right, so I also want to mention that in this whole routine, right, this is specifically for people that are trying and working on paying off debt. Because you're being so intense and you're literally wiping out your account at all times, you want to make sure that you have some sort of emergency fund. I'm gonna be honest, for me, I had like maybe 300 sometimes, 500 sometimes, but I love the Dave Ramsey baby steps, and he says to have $1,000 in emergency funds. I feel like sometimes I had $1,000, sometimes I had $300, but I had something. Okay, so you want to have something in your emergency fund. It's good to have $1,000. I want to also remind you, I've already said it before, but I will say it again, is to use up the entire paycheck. Okay, when you make your paycheck plan, there should be $0 left, because every dollar has a job. So whether it's group one or group two, you already know if it's towards your budget or if it's towards paying off debt, it has a job. There should be $0 left over after you do your paycheck routine, because you already have a buffer, you know, line on your budget. So there should be no nonsense, nothing left after you have gotten paid. Everything should have went somewhere already that same day, because something else is gonna come up. It's gonna entice you to use it. So as soon as you get paid, you use the money and it goes to where it needs to be. The last step that you will do whenever you are on your paycheck routine is to make plans for your next paycheck. Yes, you guessed it. I remember when I was in the middle of paying off debt, I would literally sit there and be like, okay, boom, I'm gonna get this check here, I'm gonna get this, like, you know, whatever source of income here, and I am going to use this for this. Like, I had like months planned of what I was gonna do with money because I was so focused on paying off this debt. And honestly, things are gonna come up and you may have to slow down or whatever, but you just have to remember, like, what are your priorities? What are your priorities? If it's something that can wait, let it wait. It's gonna be okay. You're gonna be so much happier that you're more debt free and you're able to take care of more things and have more fun later on than you will be if you go to this short vacation that you really can't afford because it just feels like you should, right? Anyway, that was my mentality and that's what really helped me to move so fast. So you want to plan your next paycheck, okay? Celebrate the small wins. This one is so big, you guys. On payday, sometimes whenever I pay something, I'll be like, oh my gosh, I have friends that call back, I paid this off, and they celebrate me, and that really helped me to keep going. So if you have a small circle you want to share it with, or a friend or whatever, or just share something like, oh my god, I'm so happy, yes, I paid off this debt. Like, it actually really helps to feel that emotion of happiness and to be grateful and to thank God and celebrate, because that's just going to help you to believe that this is possible and see that mountain of debt and be like, you are no more in the name of Jesus because I'm doing this thing, okay? So you definitely want to celebrate your small wins. So that was my paycheck routine, especially for those who are trying and working on paying off their debt. So real quick, we're going to walk over the steps one more time in case you forgot them. 1, you're going to pay your tithes and honor God with what he has blessed you with. Number 2, you're going to split your money into 2. One pile would be whatever you budgeted for. The second pile will be paying off your debt. Number 3, you're going to use the whole entire paycheck. You're not going to leave anything left over there. You're going to make sure that all the money is accounted for. Number 4, you're going to make plans for the next paycheck, okay? Number 5, then you're gonna celebrate the win. You're gonna be like, oh my god, I'm so excited. Like, you're gonna feel it, you're gonna scream. It sounds crazy, but these things are very important, okay? To be grateful is very important. It's gonna help you to push forward. It's gonna help you to, you know, see the finish line, and it's gonna help you to actually do it. So celebrate the small wins. $1,000 is a lot. $100 is a lot. Just celebrate the small ones. Whatever you've done, celebrate it, thank God, and look forward to the finish line. With that said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will definitely be doing a budgeting video, so stay tuned for that. Let me know in the comments down below what kind of videos you want to see about this topic, about finance, and I'd be so happy to help out and share my journey. I will see you guys in the next video, and remember, you are successful, yes, even now. Mwah!